Here we are on one of Sydney's windy corners. It's up in Oxford Street, Sydney.
Sydney-siders have long complained about the pulse of the city.
I think it's very dull. I think it's absolutely dead in Sydney.
Well, is it gay enough? I mean, is it happy enough for the average person, do you think, in this city?
No.
The sentiment at Taylor Square these days is remarkably similar.
Late night life, it's not fantastic.
Have you seen a change over the years?
Absolutely, yeah, it's become a lot quieter.
Newspaperman Lawrence Gibbons remembers the strip in the mid-90s.
Oxford Street was pumping.
He says the Golden Mile began to decline around the turn of the century. The opening of the Clearway and Westfield shopping centres at both ends decimated retail. Then lockout laws and COVID-19 lockdowns ripped the heart out of Sydney's nightlife. He admits the slide had already started when Clover was elected Lord Mayor in 2004, but blames the council for failing to reverse it.
The City of Sydney's management of Oxford Street has done very little to help.
Numerous council proposals to revive the neighbourhood have gone nowhere.
You've had 20 years to fix Oxford Street. Why should voters trust that you'll do it this time?
Well, they can look at the work that's happening on the Ashmorgan site. We're incentivising developers to provide that creative and cultural space. So we're hoping that's going to give a new life too. I'm also very confident that the bike lane will be revitalising.
The City of Sydney has leased 3 blocks to investment firm Ashmorgan for 99 years to develop offices, shops, restaurants, bars and creative spaces.
The council put up these colourful hoardings ahead of Sydney World Pride early last year to hide the dilapidated buildings during construction. Work halted earlier this year when the developer fired the builder, but has since resumed.
Some of the sites will be ready early next year.
Independent councillor Yvonne Weldon is among the Lord Mayor's challengers who've seized on the delay.
Last election, Clover was sitting in an establishment here, one of the few left, stated that by the time the next election comes around, Oxford Street will be completed.
Council election in September.
Labor's Zan Maxwell says it's time someone else had a go.
The renaissance of Oxford Street is always just around the corner with this Lord Mayor, but nothing ever changes.
He was just 15 when Ms Moore was elected to Town Hall.
There are people who are voting in this election who weren't even born when Clover Moore first became Lord Mayor of Sydney.
I think we're at the forefront of reigniting the city. People say the city is now really buzzing, and it is. I think you can see for yourself. Streets like Crown Street have really taken off.
There's no plan for Stanley Street at the moment. We've got restaurants that are vacant.
The Liberal Party's Lyndon Gannon is another 30-something trying to dethrone the Lord Mayor.
The only people that have served longer are dictators, unfortunately.
The first-term councillor has pointed to a decision to ban the old Fitzroy Hotel from letting patrons drink outside after 8 p.m, following 2 noise complaints.
I think that was an unfortunate incident. I'm sorry it's happened. I've called for a review.
Ms Moore turns 79 in October.
Do you have a succession plan?
I will have a succession plan when I decide to leave. I still find the work very exciting, and I'm very energised, and we have real momentum happening, and I want to continue with that work.
Alexander Lewis, ABC News, Sydney.